Yeah, so we're just like two guys. We want to make a podcast. And yeah, we just prepared some like subjects.
To talk about, and we're keep in mind we're very new to this space.
Yeah, we just want to like share a bit of our life and like maybe give some advice or give some. What the fuck is
Bro, is
this?
this bro, is this in the podcast? Okay, never
Yeah.
mind. Okay, we've have some topics to talk about because
Yeah.
it's our first podcast. We want to just generally talk about stuff. We don't have to.
Yeah, I mean, we don't really have a concept for for the podcast yet, so like, don't expect us to like obey like any rules. We just want to. It's kind of a yap session, like. Or
Yeah,
podcast.
just two teenagers. Where I've seen two teenagers with such a background. By the way, guys,
Yeah.
comment down below. It's gonna be on YouTube, I guess. How the background is. This is part of my room, but let's not talk about the background. I have some topics, and the first topic is actually struggles. Well, we're 17 years old, both, I guess.
Yeah, 17 years old.
And where have you seen like two teenagers talk about stuff that's so simple but yet so hard to talk about in our age?
Mhm.
And I feel like a lot of us are trying to put themselves out there, do something, but they get often like just made fun of, I guess.
Yeah,
And
I
it's
know
the
that.
struggle with a lot of things. I've seen
Mhm.
like many people talk about a struggle of when we speak about boys, talking to women, talking to
Yeah.
girls in our
Yeah.
they have like just trouble committing to even talk,
Mhm,
and
mhm.
it's not just me or him. It's just basically generally a lot of guys because they're kind of afraid to make fun of. If you go up to
Yeah.
the girl you like, it's straight up. You have to straight up, like can't you? Bro, I can't even talk about this because it's so weird to. What I mean is that if you go up to a girl nowadays, you either gonna be made fun of, or she gonna maybe give you some interest and then
Mhm.
never really respond back
Yeah,
or shit.
yeah.
Or maybe it's just us looking a bit But keep in
Yeah.
mind it's our first podcast.
Yeah. Like we're just like spilling our thoughts as they like come to
Bit
mind.
camera
I
shy,
think.
bit camera shy
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
But guys, it's
I mean-
really go on.
Yeah, I mean, like, talking about the subject of, like, approaching women or approaching girls, I don't know. I think we're, like, most afraid, like, about the consequences and about, like, is she gonna say no? And I think, like, most of us, we know that the worst she can say is no, but we're, like, still afraid, I guess, right?
Right, I saw some. We live in this age that we can just show up some TikToks, some TikToks, of course, and
Yeah.
you see like bunch of guys like failing, like rock bottom failing.
Mhm.
Of course, not the worst you can say is no. The worst you can say is delete your whole existence
Yeah.
and delete your whole reputation.
Yeah.
And I think this is like the struggle with most of the guys, and I see lots of a lot of my friends also not committing or just having no guts to commit to something.
Yeah.
But when we really talk about struggles, it's not just about the girls, because oftentimes when you commit to a girl in our age, you're just gonna end up single again,
Yeah, right.
because committing to,
Yeah.
to one and making her your life priority
Mhm.
is going to make you single, because you can't like have in a relationship two people over invested
Yeah.
in the relationship,
Mhm.
that two people love each other. It's gonna have to be one-sided, what
Yeah.
I mean. If
Yeah.
one does everything for the other and the other just does not show as much commitment or as much appreciation for that. It's not in a bad way. I don't mean it like to sound the one can be the toxic one, and the one and the other has to love him at its peak, whatever. It's just, if both people are way too over-invested, it's oftentimes the relationships that end like after 3 months. Don't you think?
Yeah. Yeah, I think there's like you need to have this certain balance. I think of like doing like showing that you are committed, but like not overcommitting.
Yeah, yeah, of course.
Yeah, but like I think we shouldn't like spend too much time like talking about that. Maybe for a future episode, this would be a great idea to talk
Yeah,
about.
our podcast is just a yap
Yeah,
session,
it's just a bit random.
and
Like yeah,
of course, relationships and all of that is also a big part. But struggles are oftentimes, in every area. I've seen like so many people struggling with their emotions, struggling with school, just lots of things,
yeah,
and some of the things I don't feel like should be a struggle for people. Like,
yeah,
and it's kind of been like social media, although it's like smoking, y'all.
yeah,
Smoking is
yeah.
bad,
Right.
but we both don't smoke. We know smoking is bad, but you still do it, and
Yeah.
with the social media, it's the same.
Mhm.
But let's just move on.
No, no, no. I want to say something
Oh,
more
okay,
about
okay,
struggle.
bro.
Yeah, no, because like one struggle or one thing that I like feel like is like very important because I think many people are like saying, "Oh my God, I have so many struggles," but like at the same time, I think we are like pretty spoiled from our like life situation. Like how we live is like pretty high standard, right? And so we oftentimes have like these struggles.
But that's just us, keep in mind,
Yeah,
because what you see
but my
right now.
friends, like they have a very good life and they're like complaining all the time. I think
Yeah,
that's
you don't appreciate the things you have,
yeah.
and especially for the people that may be or may not watch a video right now. They be in a quite possibly in a worse situation if you're
Mhm.
looking this video.
Yeah.
No, no. I don't know what to say,
No,
but
like no offense
can
and
speak.
like
Yeah,
no
no, of course.
assumptions like taking, but
But oftentimes in
yeah.
our position, you can't really appreciate the value that's given to you.
Yeah, correct.
Okay, struggles is a whole other
Mhm.
topic, but we can go into, and
Yeah.
especially relationships and other struggles like I don't know, depression, social
Yeah.
media, and sleep deprivation.
Mhm.
Also a really interesting topic
Yeah.
that people seem to struggle about
Mhm.
and can't fix it. But let's just move on to. We had like digitalization on our list, but I feel like bro, I can't.
Digitalization.
Yeah, it's not something I want to talk about. It's not something that I, like passionately want to talk about because I don't feel like any interest in
Mhm.
talked about social media, but it's this topic that you don't want to spend too much time reflecting
Yeah.
on. It's just a thing that you want to get rid of in your life and just move on.
Yeah, yeah, but maybe I think, yeah, I've seen a lot like the phase of like digitalization, like when the first things like came up, everyone like was like a bit skeptical about it, um, but then people realized, oh no, I think it's actually pretty cool to have digitalization, and it makes things like more important, not more important, but more efficient. You can like solve so many things with digitalization, like I don't know, cataloging some products or something like that. Like if you
Sure,
have a
sure.
store, it's like um, much more efficient to manage it digitally than to like do all the paperwork, like you know.
Countless
Yeah.
examples.
Hmm.
Yeah, with
But
that.
I think we have come to a point like where digitalization is like a bit too much or too many things in our life are being taken over by digitalization, and I think especially like in school, I think we see this because I mean it makes sense to use digital things in like in some situations, but like in many situations I don't think like digitalization is like the real way. um, uh, like now no example like comes to mind, but I guess maybe you understand what I mean, and maybe you can also leave a comment if you like have
Yeah,
an example
sure,
for that.
sure.
Yeah.
I feel like digitalization is a is a pretty interesting topic to talk about, especially if you're getting into the nitty gritty of things,
Mm-hmm.
because it can get interesting, especially with like all the maybe AI that's been around
Yeah,
for
yeah,
a certain
AI.
time now.
Like
For
we certainly have to overthink or not, yeah, overthink like how are we standing to digitalization, especially with school? How are they gonna handle AI,
Yeah.
and how, or generally, we are going to handle AI because like it's a big step
It's a
forward.
really, really big step. And you know what I think? I think people don't appreciate how big of a step this is, because you can get so much out of this AI. Sorry if I, swear like.
Now
But
I will peep it out probably.
okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay. So you can get so much things done with AI, and I feel like you don't appreciate it. And it's just one of the things you have to learn also, because it's
Yeah,
it's
right.
like talking, it's like socializing, but with an AI, and learning how to. All of the videos you see people explaining how to use ChatGPT, it's not simple, y'all. It's simple to the point where you have to, write an essay for school.
But
Write
like
me an
for
essay.
for advanced use cases,
Yeah,
I mean
for
it's
advances,
definitely
because you can
like
go so deep down. But I feel like that's also another topic. If you're going,
yeah, I mean
to
AI
get
is
into,
definitely like its whole like podcast episode, I would say, like, right.
or even more, you can make
Yeah.
a book. You can run countless books. But I feel like topic I want to talk about in the end of the podcast. Keep in mind, it's not gonna be a long podcast.
Yeah, because
And
like it's first.
we're just getting used to this shit, because it's 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 the thing of putting ourselves out there, of making ourselves like a name, or making ourselves just a bit making something out of us,
Yeah, right.
essentially. Because we're now in school, and oftentimes you don't realize how fast school passes till you get suddenly adults.
Yeah.
So the one thing I've reflected and read also books, have, by the way, this one book, The Subtle Art of Not Giving an F. Not gonna swear there on purpose. It's really, really interesting book, and there's countless of these self-improvement books. But what I mean is quality time in your life, especially in our like generation. And I'm
Yeah.
not gonna sound like 80-year-old man was saying this.
Yeah.
I genuinely mean
Right,
this.
yeah.
I genuinely mean this.
Yeah, really.
That, I've seen like a guy talking about 10 or 15 years ago, when there were no like, or even 30 years ago, when there were no real connections, like no phones, not really, not anybody, not everybody had a television. Um, going outside was a privilege, and
Yeah.
playing with your friends. And if you got banned, or your parents made you stay at home for a week because you did some messy stuff,
Yeah, I mean like that was kind
this
of
is
devastating, right?
we got to the point where staying home is a lot of the people's comfort zone. And I don't feel like this should be
Yeah.
like this. Although your home is, you can do a bunch of stuff at home, messy stuff, and
Yeah.
whatever you can imagine, but still it's yeah. And I don't want to sound like an 80-year-old man saying this, but I genuinely mean this quality time. How many times you've been sitting in your room without your phone, or how many times you've been sitting on the toilet, bro, or even
Yeah.
eating without your phone. I feel like that's the really important topic.
Yeah, I mean, our math teacher is kind of like a hippie, but I think once he like said something really really cool, and I think it also changed like my mind a bit about how like I see the world outside. I already saw it similar like this, but like he also like reinforced our my sentiment about the outer world. Like he said, like the world is a gift, and like you should take it. I mean like it sounds really deep, but actually it isn't. It's like just a fact, and I think many people like don't really accept this gift. Like for me myself, I spend like, I think if you don't count sleeping, I probably spend like 80% not being at home, because I go to school, I do
Busy
rowing,
man, busy ass.
and yeah, I'm just generally hanging out with friends. Like not in like the bad way, but like actually studying, or like right now like doing a podcast because it's not at my home.
Yeah, bro, but I don't feel like there's like bad way of hanging out with friends.
Yeah, no, like if you're taking drugs or something.
Yeah,
like that. I meant
but
that.
that's the extreme guys.
Yeah,
of course.
fair.
I do appreciate that you're saying stuff like, I'm kind of going too deep, or I'm talking too deep. I don't feel like we should be ashamed, or be a bit we should always defend ourselves of saying,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm talking like an 80-year-old man. I feel like this should be normalized, and I feel like it isn't because of these platforms that made people talking cringe, that made
Yeah.
certain topics, although all of y'all had certainly deep talks with your friends, with your parents.
Yeah, I think society, like, also social media changed society, like, in such a way that it's nowadays, like, almost like cringe to be, like, on the way of, like, self-improvement and stuff. And it normalized to be, like, a loser, like, right?
But it wasn't
Mm-hmm.
just a year before with the whole Tate,
Yeah.
whole with the Tate drama. Although I don't think this was a drama, this was either just a wake-up call from a lot of men. Although not in the best way possible, but sometimes it takes extremes to achieve grades or achieve just something in your life. But one or how long was the drama? I don't really know. It was like 2022, if I'm not mistaken.
Andrew Tate?
Yeah.
Yeah, 2022,
Yeah, it's almost 2 years ago, right? I don't know when.
Yeah, like,
though,
time flies,
but
but
time
yeah.
flies, of course, bro.
And that's also, like, quality time, bro. Time flies, and then you need to use your time, right? Because time is, like, the only resource which is, like, really limited in the world. So, bro, just do whatever you want, like, in your life, or do the best side of your life, right?
Appreciate it, bro.
Yeah.
But I wanted to say about the Tate thing that it was there was like a trend with the Tate thing. You know, you had like two sides of people being really judgmental towards him in the negative way, and also the positive way. The whole what college your Bugatti shit. It kind of pushed people into a certain way of thinking that they weren't before. And I especially wanted to say that being productive in this kind of time of age was actually trendy.
Yeah.
You were trendy when you made your dropshipping videos. You were trendy when you tried to make a business, although not always. But I thought about this in 2022, and I was thinking about, bro, but what if we jump to 2024, for instance? How would the people then think? Because in our time of age, there are going to be different trends in terms of like improving yourselves. And I feel like now self-improvement got kind of into the cringe,
cringe bubble, right?
Cringe bubble. But of course, it's way different than improving in private than improving on social media publicly.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
But you have always your pros and cons, because on social media we maybe get feedback from y'all guys if you watch till this point, or also negative feedback. It's just double-sided, really.
I mean, you will always get good and bad feedback, right? Yeah, so.
Right. And for instance, our homie that's right now locking in on volleyball, for instance.
Yeah.
If you're doing it privately, no one's gonna judge you really, because they're not seeing the effort that's been put in. They're not seeing the all the stuff, all the goods that's been put into the work. But if we take us.
Yeah.
How did we start the podcast, bro? If you like, listen, Shalom.
Ja, gewoon ik wil zeggen.
Bro, het gaat niet daarom dat het 100.000 video's zijn, weißt du, man? If you show us the first like 3 minutes, we're like, you see the beginning of our path, or the beginning of just really what we're
the beginning of
trying.
our adventure, maybe even.
Bro, it's just filming two guys sitting and
really.
filming. It's just really casual shit. But bro, drop not a topic, and I gotta, I don't know, or something that you wanted to talk about off your heart. I don't know, bro. Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, I wanted to say something before, but I mean, like, we are always seeking for validation from others, and I think social media made this like a very easy way to like gain validation from others, and like gaining all this dopamine and like
hits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you know what I mean, right?
Bro,
And
you're clip farming.
yeah, no, but I think actually improving in private is like, I think if you're doing it for a while, improving in private is like much more satisfying. At least like in my opinion or from my experiences, because like I've been like journaling for I think now almost 2 years, like every day,
And
and
I
I
feel
mean
like that is
it's super cool. Like
it's
it
such a
feels
valuable skill.
like
It's
for
such a
myself
valuable
it
skill.
feels so cool. Yeah.
By the way, if you're watching this right now, if you want to make a journal and just manage your time better, the simplest version is not one of these managed apps that you have to pay for
Yeah.
or get yourself some kind of um, payment to manage your time. The best and very best, I don't know how it's for Samsung users, no offense though.
I think
um,
Google Calendar.
yeah, it's also great,
Yeah, yeah.
right? Use Apple Calendar.
Yeah.
This is the simplest. There's like this really cute or really good kiss system, like
Kiss.
with no with all the all
Yeah.
capital letters. Kiss, keep it simple and stupid,
Yeah.
right? And this is what I'm seeking for. You
Yeah.
know, when I'm managing my time, because I feel like there's like two things in terms of this. You can manage your time on like a bullet journal or on your phone. And again, phone is can
We're
be
anyways having our phones always with us, even if you tried to like be like, oh no phone for like a week or something like that, I think you always will return to your phone. And this is not like because you maybe have a weak mind or something like that, because you're like giving up, but it's actually also not the society, but like it's actually the phone is just such a practical device that you can just, I think you need to use it correctly, and I don't think you need to like scrap it and like put it away, but use it correctly. I think that's
it's
like,
just all about
Yeah.
discipline at this point,
Yeah.
But the companies make it so hard to not
resist,
get to not get tempted by or of course you get tempted, but to not get onto these apps. And I'm sure you heard of like this stupid methods. I made like a time management thing. I blocked my for 1 minute. I can use it only, or I deleted all my apps, or I made my screen like dark and black, or
black and white. Yeah.
black and white.
Yeah. Dark and white. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Okay, bro. To end off the podcast, I'm just gonna talk about a topic. I feel like it's also quite important. It's that many people tend to talk about motivation, or I want to motivate myself first and then get something done, or I want to motivate myself first with I don't know, a video and go then to the gym. Bro, I don't feel like this works that way, and I feel like people, especially in our age, should understand this, and even above. But I'm not trying to outsmart people above my age. Of course, respect them. But there's also the ups and the downs of people at certain ages. But I feel like motivation is fictional, and many people have talked about this.
Yeah.
It's just a thing that makes you weaker, don't you think?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say it's fictional, but like it definitely comes from within. You can't get motivation by something. I mean, of course you can get motivation by a video, but like it's like up to you what you're doing with this video then in your mind. But like for me, I've realized that if I don't feel like doing something, like for example, I don't know, cleaning up my room or something like that, tidying up my room, then I just like set a timer for 5 minutes, and I like force myself to do it for these 5 minutes, and I realized like, okay, yeah, now I wanted to resume, and like, oh, I see there is something like not tidy, or I want to organize my digital folder as well because it's like a little bit messy. Like this is the first thing. Force yourself like at first, and then you will like be incrementally better.
Right? You get results by forcing yourself to do something. Then I feel like the hardest step is just to force yourself to
Yeah.
do something,
And I mean,
and then motivation comes with
yeah,
it, right?
yeah. And there's always an easy way, but there's also a hard way. And I think on the hard way you will gain much more results. It's much better, I think.
Okay, guys. I feel like on that note,
Yeah, I
it
guess.
was a great talk. Was a great yap.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know. We don't even have a name
Yeah.
yet.
But
Maybe-
I hope, like, probably by the time you're seeing this, we have a name. But yeah, we hope, of course, that you could take away some things from this, like, little talk. And yeah, we'll see you
Appreciate
next
that.
time. Bye.